You are listening to Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. We will start off, as we always do, with the big daddy in cryptocurrencies, that is Bitcoin. This is a 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart. This is not our Bitcoin ETF that we've tracked for years for you now. We do this once a week so we can see what's really going on that 24-hour-a-day chart. And you can see it is extremely similar to what it is we track every day. And of course, the reason we use the ETF is so that we are not practicing as if we have our money in a Bitcoin exchange, some of which have had problems over the years. Now, we're not a stock or a Bitcoin or a gold, silver commodity calling service. We're an education firm. We want you to practice with us. And again, what are we seeing? Well, we are seeing, of course, Bitcoin has broken the trend line. Not a huge break, but it has broken it. 2-day chart is slowly pushing through. It touched it back on, let's see, on the 11th. That was Thursday, the 11th and 12th. And then, of course, this is now, again, 24-hour a day. I got to adjust my mind here. But as we look at it, we can see how starting back on Thursday, and then you see Saturday, then you see Monday, and then Wednesday, as it has drifted down, you can see where the volume is, not nearly as high as it was the last several weeks. And again, we've got, this is the 24-hour-a-day chart, so it's got a ways to go to get up to the kind of volume that we saw before, but it is falling off. Now, what about Ethereum? We take a look at Ethereum, it really peaked last week with all that volume, but it has continued to move up, which is interesting, and we will watch that. Now, here's the real surpriser. Look at what BITW, which is the Bitwise Top 10 Crypto Index Fund, it's weighted as per market share. Look at how it has just dropped off the deep end. Look at all that volume. Again, you can see where things were peaking on average volume here, then the spinning top, so showing you insiders are selling their positions while the dummies are buying. What is that showing? What happened this last week? You have a very tiny candle there. You have much higher than average volume, and you just don't have, you've got a lot of, volatility back and forth as people are clearing out their stocks going short and the dummies are buying, and then it rolls over and hammers down. Right now it's showing down almost 10%. Wow. Okay, may have some portent of where things are going, and that's, again, interesting to look at, pay attention to. And again, note in your trader's journal, what does BITW's big drop, precipitous drop, what does that tell you moving forward? And I almost went to currencies first. We do commodities next. Let me show you where we are. Sugarcane trying to move up a little bit. Not a lot of volume there. We look at where copper is, and remember, using a lot of industrial processes, copper still going down. Now, this is interesting. Silver, which again peaked back in late November and then started shuddering. We saw a spinning top, right? The kind of sign we expect to see. Then down the next week, and then it got squirrely on us. It popped up. It was not quite, I guess you would say it was just barely a spinning top. It's got a little bit of movement on the bottom, but looked like it was rotating around on us. Then we got another spinning top. And then, for the last 3 weeks, moving down. For the day alone, 1.48%. Look at soybeans. Again, fed to a lot of feed. It's using a lot of feed. Humans eat it, but just continuing to move down. Now, looks like the bottom was last week, 25.38. No, 25.34 this week, so going lower. And look at natural gas. It popped up big last week and then falling off quite a bit this week. So again, lots of volume as it started to take off and then sort of dying on the vine. So we'll continue to follow that and see what happens to nat gas as we move forward. Now let's look at currencies. We'll start in alphabetical order. XA. Look at the Aussie dollar as it moves down. I mean, again, look at all that volume last week. Not so much this week, but a big plunge this week in price, but no volume. Very interesting. And again, didn't have a lot of volume to show the turnover here as it was starting to rotate. It just died on the vine at the end of the year. And look at what you'll continue to see with so many of these as we were looking at them yesterday, and it didn't save my change of trend lines, but also on the Canadian dollar, how it popped up and then rolled over. Look at where we are on the euro, same kind of thing. And I don't like to draw trend lines and then have them not save, so I'm just going to sort of interim save them there. Again, after these pop-ups at the end of the year, everything just ending as the year starts. Lastly, we will look at the yen. Same thing has occurred. And why not, since we're going through all of ours, let's look at the British pound. Now, the British pound, it did, just like the others, pop up. It's been struggling. Last week it tried to move up, and then this week dying on the vine again. Again, didn't have super high volume for the peak here, but we did have super high volume for the changeover. And then I hate these kind of fake outs where the next week it goes up, makes you think you've made the wrong decision, then rotates back over and went up with some volume too, but then dying on the vine. Where do you think it's going to go now? It's already tried to go up and failed. Where do you think it's going? I got a feeling. Okay, we don't trade on feelings, do we? Now, what do we see going on lastly with the Swiss franc? It popped up actually before, it popped up with the others. And then what it did is it continued to try to get a little traction, and then of course rolling over. And we did have higher than average volume for the popover. We didn't have our telltale sign of a doji there with high volume, or a spinning top with lots of volatility, long wicks on either side. My friends, that is where we are this week as we look at commodities, cryptos, and currencies. I hope you enjoy this. It's just a little different thing that we do, but it's always fun to see real stuff out there, commodities, currencies, and of course, what the crypto market is up to. And I would ask you to, again, do note in your trader's journal and pay attention to what is BITW telling us as it just rolls over and dies. Is that a portent for what will happen with Bitcoin? And look at Ethereum not hitting those highs of last week, falling off some, but still nice green up candle. Not a lot of volume there, so we'll see where the whole crypto market continues to go. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.